James had been living in his new apartment for only 2 weeks when he started noticing strange things. At first, they were small, hardly enough to make him worry. A book slightly out of place. A window he swore he had closed now open. A whisper in the middle of the night that could easily be mistaken for the wind. But as the days passed, the occurrences became harder to ignore. One evening, after a particularly exhausting day at work, James sat down on his couch with a cup of tea. He sighed, letting the warmth of the tea relax his tense muscles. Just as he was about to take a sip, he heard a soft creaking noise. It came from the hallway. James placed his cup on the table and walked cautiously to the door. It was slightly ajar. He knew he had locked it. A chill ran down his spine. He stepped outside and looked around. The hallway was empty. The silence was eerie, almost unnatural. The overhead light flickered for a moment before stabilizing. "Maybe I forgot to lock it," he muttered, trying to reassure himself. He shut the door, turned the key, and went back inside. But as soon as he sat down, an unsettling realization hit him. His cup of tea, which had been steaming moments ago, was now completely cold. That night, James struggled to sleep. The feeling of being watched was unbearable. Every rustle of the wind, every distant creak of the building, set his nerves on edge. He kept hearing faint whispers. They weren't coming from the hallway or the apartment next door. They were inside his room. He turned on the lamp and looked around. Nothing. Just silence. He sighed, blaming his exhausted mind, and turned the light off again. But as soon as he closed his eyes, he heard it again. This time, louder. "Leave!" James jumped out of bed, heart racing. He turned the light back on and scanned the room. He was alone, or so it seemed. Determined to find out what was happening, James set up his phone to record while he slept. The next morning, he woke up feeling even more exhausted. He grabbed his phone and played the recording. At first, there was nothing but the sound of his breathing. Then, at exactly 3:07 a.m., there was a whisper. "Get out!" The voice was clear, and it wasn't his. James dropped the phone, his hands shaking. He knew he couldn't stay in this apartment any longer. But as he grabbed his suitcase to pack, he saw something that made his blood freeze. The mirror in front of him had words written on it, as if someone had traced them with their finger. "It's too late." And then, the door slammed shut on its own. James begins. His investigation. James sat frozen, his suitcase half-packed. He had no idea what to do next. His rational mind told him that ghosts weren't real, that there had to be an explanation. But his gut told him otherwise. Instead of leaving immediately, James decided to investigate. He needed answers. He spent the entire day researching the history of the apartment building. What he found made his skin crawl. The building had been constructed in 1924 and had a dark past. Several disappearances had been reported over the years, residents who had simply vanished without a trace. Most of them had lived in the same apartment James was currently occupying. He found an old newspaper article about a man named William Carter, who had rented the unit in 1978. According to the article, Carter had repeatedly told his friends and family that something was watching him in the apartment. Then, one night, he disappeared. No signs of forced entry, no struggle, just gone. The more James read, the more unsettled he became. He discovered another case from 1995. A woman named Evelyn Parker had also rented the apartment. She had made frantic calls to her sister, claiming that her furniture was moving on its own and that she heard whispers in the walls. A week later, she vanished. James's heart pounded in his chest. He wasn't imagining things. This had happened before. That night, he set up multiple recording devices. and placed them around the apartment. He needed proof, something tangible he could show to someone else. Maybe if he had evidence, he wouldn't feel so crazy. At precisely 3:07 a.m., something happened. The lights flickered violently, casting eerie shadows on the walls. The whispers grew louder. James clutched his phone, recording every second. Then, without warning, his bedroom door flung open. A gust of freezing air rushed in. James stood paralyzed with fear. He could barely breathe. And then, right before his eyes, the mirror on his wall shattered into 1,000 pieces. The words appeared once more, written in the fog of the cracked glass. "You're next." James ran. He didn't stop to grab anything. He fled the apartment, his pulse pounding in his ears. He had always thought he was a logical man, someone who didn't believe in the supernatural. But now, as he stood outside in the cold night air, staring up at the darkened window of his apartment, he knew one thing for certain. Some things were beyond explanation, and some places should never be called home. The haunting continues. James didn't go home that night. Instead, he checked into a cheap motel on the outskirts of town. But even in the motel, he couldn't shake the feeling that something was watching him. His phone kept glitching. Shadows in the corner of the room seemed darker than they should have been. Desperate, he contacted a paranormal investigator named Dr. Leonard Hayes. Dr. Hayes had spent decades studying supernatural occurrences, and when James told him about the apartment, the old man became eerily silent. "You need to leave the city," Dr. Hayes finally said. "You need to go as far away as you can." James frowned. "Why? What is it?" Dr. Hayes hesitated before answering. "You're marked now. The entity doesn't just haunt places. It attaches itself to people. If it wants you, it will follow you." James's blood ran cold. He had thought escaping the apartment would be enough. He was wrong. The nightmare was only beginning.